I'll say this, Taiwan is an amazing place to be a pregnant woman. They love her.
It was like, oh, I'm going out on a date with a girl. I'm not too sure about her, but she has a big butt.
Yeah,
I have a big butt.
Jiangjiao.
My name's Jade. I'm from Michigan. Been in Taiwan for 6.5 years.
I'm Aaron. I'm from California. I've been in Taiwan 11 or 12 years now.
What brought you guys out here?
I was backpacking Southeast Asia and ran out of money. And I was in Manila. I searched just cheapest flights on Skyscanner, and I found a $30 flight. And I thought I would just work for a year, save up, and then like go to Australia and do more scuba diving.
Other things happened.
Other things
now
happened.
you have one of those.
I had like $1,000 US. So I actually started couch surfing when I got here and ended up living with you.
Yep, that's how we met. What was the shack like?
The shack was a shack. All kind of transients. Yeah, when you're new, that's like the people that you spend a lot of time with.
I had been there like 8 years at that point.
My brother also lives here. He came out here first. So I graduated university, and so I visited Taiwan. I mean, it was very different than my life now. So we were going to like Luxy and partying and eating stuff, being goofy. And it was awesome. And 6 months later, I moved out here. I knew basically since high school that I wanted to be a teacher. When I was in university, like my last year, I had the opportunity to teach like ESL to like Latin American immigrants. And then when I came out here, it was like doing that, but with like little kids. And it was super fun.
Did you ever have to like run from the police?
I never had to physically run.
Did you ever have to hide?
Yeah. Like it was just like, hey, you're gonna chill out in here. It's crazy. Everyone knows police officers have their kids go to English-speaking communities. Like government officials have their, so everyone knows.
It is a real fear that people have, like, oh, maybe I will get deported.
Just the slight risk, like you have a whole life here, you know, like you're about to have a kid, and then it's like you go to work and you might be deported for just teaching kindergarten. It seems crazy.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare.
You guys could probably both share your perspectives on this, just like differing levels of professionalism in the English teaching profession here.
You know, there are plenty of people who see it as an easy life where you can go out, party all night, and then like show up at your job and really half-ass it.
It's frustrating because that stereotype sucks. That it's like, oh yeah, I'm an English teacher, and they're like, oh, so you're just like getting wasted, and you know, and it's like, well, no.
You know, there's also a lot of people here with teaching degrees who've been teachers in America, been teachers for 10 plus years, very professional people.
What do you think sets those people apart? Like, why are some people super into it?
Working in a preschool, you realize how much they come to depend on you in that time. Like, you spend 8 hours a day with them for a year. You're a significant person in their life. So when I decided I wanted to do the master's program, he was kind of on the fence. I was like, no.
You do it.
Do it.
You're going.
I did.
You did it.
I did it, yeah. And it was awesome. Like, it kindled in me like a much stronger love of teaching. The scene that you're in really affects your outlook. And I probably wouldn't have done it without her. Thank God. Thank God she got that flight.
Like, how did you guys meet?
At a job.
Teaching at preschool.
Teaching little kids. She showed up, and I remember seeing her, and I was like, oh, they hired a hot chick. Oh, yes.
Yes. Finally.
I was just really into Aaron. Then I spent like months and months trying to get him to go out with me, and he never would.
Would you drop like subtle hints, or you're like, we're going?
Oh, she wasn't subtle about it at all. She was just like straight up, like, let's throw down.
Yeah, or he was like, oh, I'm going out on a date with a girl. I'm not too sure about her.
Yeah, she sent me a text. I got up and I left. I was like, I'm going to go on this date. This girl's got, I don't know, but she's got a big butt. And then I checked my phone, and Jada texted me, I've got a big butt. I'd had my heart broken too many times. It sucks meeting someone, getting to know them, like really falling for them, and then like, okay, bye. That was my assumption, was that Jade was going to be...
That was my plan.
You were the Taiwanese girl in this situation.
Yeah, straight up,
You
dude.
were.
I was like, I love Taiwan. I don't want to go back home.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm going to stick here for a long time. And so I was mostly at that time like dating Taiwanese women, and was like hard line, like I'm not going to date any coworkers because they're just going to like split at some point. And it hurts. She stuck around.
Yeah.
Wore me down.
Yeah.
At one point, I was dating a woman and was just thinking about Jade a lot. So ended that relationship, and then just kind of had like a month of like soul searching and like, is this...
Soul searching.
Looking at Pornhub.
What? Yeah, exactly. But then sent her
Lewd message at like
or something.
1:30 in the morning. He's drunk.
Yeah, and then
alright.
the next day we went to the park.
Yeah, had
Like-
our first kiss, and
that's
then
true.
never spent a moment apart since.
Yeah. maybe it was about 3 weeks later, I asked Jade to move in.
Dang.
It was quick. Got married after
4 years.
a few months later. That happened.
Now you guys have a baby on the way. What's up with that?
When a man and a woman love each other
Yeah.
very much, you know.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll say this. I think that Taiwan is an amazing place to be a pregnant woman. They
Yeah.
love her.
It's true, yeah. People are so nice to me. I was at the laundromat and somebody else insisted that they pull out my clothes out of the machine for me and put them in my bag. People get up and give me their seats. So the ladies at the swimming pool, the grandmas, they just fawn over me. And also just like on a healthcare perspective,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's so much cheaper to go through a pregnancy and then a birth here in Taiwan. It's about 35,000 NT. We spend a lot of money on testing.
Yeah, we're going ultrasounds every 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, it was once a month for the first 7 months, and now it's every 2 weeks.
In America, most people get two
Two.
throughout their entire pregnancy.
Whoa.
So it could be as cheap as like 15,000. Same for like labor and delivery. It's
Yeah.
going to be around like 25,000 NT. But I think it's like
Interesting, okay.
upwards of 30,000 US.
It's that much to have a baby?
You know, if it's an emergency and you happen to go to a hospital that doesn't have coverage for your insurance, boom, $30,000.
Yeah, wow.
Both Jade and I have really benefited from the healthcare system out here. Like I broke my collarbone biking. I had to get surgery and spent like 3 nights in the hospital. It was like $400 US. I like got emotional like at the counter. That was like, oh, and the lady asked me, she's like, "Are you American?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And she's
How
like,
did you
"It's
tell?"
okay." Like, yeah.
It's fine. Here, give me a hug.
Yeah, right.
Do you think like pregnant now, it's better to have a baby here than in the States?
Yeah, for sure.
Jade doesn't have to work. Like having a parent at home, that is so sick. And if we were to go back to the States, you know, tomorrow, I don't think that would be possible really, especially in
Yeah.
California. Another testament to how like welcoming Taiwan is there. It's like, yeah, this is possible. I think it's probably different for younger Taiwanese couples. Like, I know that like the birth rate is pretty low here, and I think a big part of that is they're not giving Taiwanese kids any money, and they're expecting them to work brutal hours. And
There are sacrifices that you have to make to be here, though. It's like you're away from your families.
Sure.
Yeah, that was something I got really anxious about, seeing how much support it really does take to do it without completely going insane. You know, who's going to take care of me? Like, he's going to be going to work,
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking care of baby, but like, this is terrifying.
Taiwan, in a lot of ways, is really baby friendly. Like they
Yeah.
want people to have babies, like big time. Essentially like a toy library where you can like take out toys and it's all free and like we're not Taiwanese, but we're still like able to access resources that
Yeah.
like other people in the States probably aren't.
As a foreigner, because I have a permanent residence, I get 8 weeks paid maternity leave and then can apply for an additional 6 months through the government.
Do you think you would ever raise your kid through like high school here?
What are you looking at me for? man?
Because I think you have stronger feel. For me, I would say, yeah. I know a lot of Westerners don't want to send their kids to private schools here because the hours are longer. These kids have a lot of pressure on them, so they want to send them to public schools.
Like a normal Taiwanese
Yeah,
school?
yeah, because this is expected of them, and so they get to have like more of a life.
So then you'd have like a white Taiwanese kid.
Yeah, kind of.
That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, right, all their friends would be Taiwanese.
And they'd speak native level Chinese.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd be
I'm
cool.
sure they'd still probably feel very American.
We're not gonna speak Chinese to our baby. You know, like we wouldn't get very far. There's a few things around, you know, like but like jiang
Yeah.
jiao, you know. But
They
like
said that real well.
yeah, I have slightly different feelings. It's just brutal. Like I've taught little kids and I've taught the big kids. It's a death march from like 1st to 12th grade, you
But
know?
not a literal one. You won't actually get shot at school.
Good point. That's a good point.
Most Americans do not get shot at school. I mean,
a lot of them do.
It's not like it's good or bad, but it doesn't have the values that you necessarily have.
I want my kid to have a life, you know? Like I hanging out when I was 16 and skateboarding with my buds. I worked hard in school, like in certain classes, some of them I didn't. And it's okay. And I was like cool with getting the B in math. That level of freedom, self-reliance. And at my school, they took them and showed them how to use a laundromat. Like, cause they're like, okay, you're gonna go to the States, you gotta learn how to wash clothes. And it's just like, what are you talking about? You know,
Yeah.
you're 18 years old, you don't know how to like use a washer?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna be here longish term. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for a few years.
You want to promote your pregnant OnlyFans?
No.
No. We'll keep that.
No, we're
secret.
gonna keep that private.
Keep
Yeah.
that low key.
如果你也想成为下一位爆红创作者， 请打开下方资讯栏连结，一起来投稿吧。